Have you ever wondered, how strategy could really multiply your digital assets? Like holding something into more of an active, almost game-like thing.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a thought experiment. It's really a shift, isn't it? Moving past just holding on to assets to like actively engaging in how they grow.
That's exactly where it gets interesting for me. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're really plunging into this protocol called Pulse Beats Miner. Now, from what I've read, this isn't just your standard single-sided PLS staking, is it? Seems like it adds a layer of strategy.
That's right. And our mission with this deep dive really is to be your guide to Pulse Beats Miner. It's this protocol that aims to be secure, transparent, and yeah, gamified, all focused on helping you multiply your PLS. We're going to break down the rules and mechanics, and most importantly, the strategies that work.
Okay, sounds good. So if we're really getting into this game, what are the basics, the fundamental pieces we need to get our heads around first, like the starting setup?
Absolutely. Let's break it down. 3 core components. First, you've got PLS. That's the main pulse chain asset, the only thing you actually stake here.
Okay, PLS, got it.
Then there are hearts. Think of these as the rewards you earn in real time from your stake. They just start accumulating.
Right, rewards.
Makes sense. And finally, beats. These are basically your personal mining engine, your stake. The more beats you get, the faster you generate those hearts. The goal, build the biggest, most powerful engine.
That actually sounds pretty intuitive.
Yeah.
So how do you get started? You just, put your PLS in and it becomes beats. What's the first actual step?
Exactly. Getting in is pretty straightforward. You use the official DApply interface for the protocol, connect your wallet, and then you call a function called buy beats.
Buy beats, okay.
Right. That action takes your liquid PLS and instantly converts it into your beats engine. And the cool thing is, it starts generating those heart rewards immediately, like right away.
Okay, so the engine's running, hearts are coming in. Now, you mentioned choices. The 2 main actions seem to be compound and withdraw. What's the difference there? What's the player deciding between?
Yeah, this choice is really the absolute core of the game. Growth versus profit, basically. Compounding is when you take the hearts you've earned,
The rewards.
right, the rewards, and you reinvest them straight back into getting more beats. It's a one-to-one conversion, no minimum amount needed, so you can do it often. It lets you grow your engine, potentially exponentially.
Exponential growth, okay. And withdraw.
Withdraw is the opposite. You're selling those earned hearts back to the protocol, and you get liquid PLS back in your wallet. So it's always that trade-off. Grow faster now, or take some profit now.
That core choice makes sense. And I guess the rules around when you can do those actions are pretty important. You mentioned cooldowns and a withdrawal tax.
Exactly right. There are rules. Pulse Beats Miner uses a dual cooldown system, which is kind of neat. There's one timer for compounding that's 12 hours.
So you can compound twice a day.
Precisely. But here's the clever bit. Compounding uses its own timer. It does not reset the separate 24-hour withdrawal cooldown timer or affect the tax calculation.
Ah, okay. So you're actively encouraged to compound frequently, like every 12 hours, without it messing up your plan for eventually withdrawing.
That's the idea. It incentivizes growth. Build that engine fast through compounding, and you're not penalized for it when you later decide it's time to think about taking some PLS out, hopefully tax-free.
Okay, let's talk about that tax then, the withdrawal tax. How does that work? Does it apply to everything?
Good question. No, it only applies to the hearts you're trying to withdraw, not your initial principal deposit, which is important, and it's time-based.
Time-based how?
It starts at a pretty hefty 80% right after you deposit or make your last withdrawal, but then it decays. It drops by 10% every single 24 hours that pass.
So if you wait, let me do the math. 8 full days.
Exactly. 8 full days since your last deposit or withdrawal, and the tax hits 0%. So the disciplined player, the one who's patient, aims for that tax-free window. It really rewards planning.
That definitely encourages a longer-term view, doesn't it? Waiting for that 0% tax. Okay, so what about the actual rewards? How fast do the hearts generate?
So the daily reward rate, it's tied directly to how many beats you have your engine power. You generate hearts equal to 3.69% of your total beats balance every 24 hours.
3.69% per day. That seems quite significant initially.
It is. It's designed to be attractive, especially in the early growth phase.
But you mentioned something about sustainability, a cap, the 3.69x ROI cap. How does that mechanism work?
Right. This is key for the long run. Once the total PLS value you've withdrawn gross withdrawals equals 3.69 times the total PLS value you've deposited,
Okay.
your daily reward rate permanently switches. It goes from that 3.69% down to a stable 1% per day. They frame it as a kind of graduation.
Graduation.
Yeah.
So you've sort of reached a milestone, and now you shift into a different, more sustainable yield phase.
Exactly. It acknowledges you've recouped a significant multiple of your initial input and transitions you to a long-term yield structure. It prevents the protocol from being drained too quickly and encourages thinking about longevity.
All right, we've covered the building blocks, the actions, the cooldowns, the tax, the rewards, the cap, all the rules of the game, basically. So the big question, how do you win? Is there like an optimal way to play this?
Well, based on those mechanics, there is a pretty clear optimal two-phase strategy that emerges. It really highlights that classic DeFi tension. Grow aggressively first, then take profits sustainably.
Okay, phase one.
Phase one is all about growth. Pure and simple. The main goal here is just compound, compound, compound. Hit that compound button every 12 hours when the timer's up. Grow that Beats engine as big and fast as you possibly can.
Make the engine powerful first. Makes sense.